Good morning. This is our annual Christmas chapel. It's quickly become a tradition around here, and we hope that you'll get some good laughs today, maybe at a few other people's expense. I'm not sure what's going on over here, but Kent said it's going to be okay. So we're going to have some funny stories, some serious moments, but put your hands together for our first chapel speaker, Miss V.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be with you all today. Oh boy, it's going to be good. I can tell already. Sitting there staring. Is it that bad, really? You're going to make it. You really are, I promise. A couple weeks, you're going to eat food, be with family. It's going to be awesome. So I was asked to talk a little bit about Christmas. And so I just want to share with you a little bit from my past, traditions that we've had as a family, etc., and we'll just see where this leads. Vernon Christmases were and are full of tradition. When I was small, it involved packing my family and my Uncle Mark's family into a borrowed van and driving all night to see the Alabama side of the family. I remember being bundled in my jammies and lying on a pallet made up for the kids in the back of a van. The kids consisted of me and 3 little boys, my brother and 2 cousins. I always tried to lay next to my cousin Paul, the one you see in the picture. He was the one who read science fiction, which he passed off as gospel truth, and would tell me stories that made me deliciously afraid. He swore that in a very few years the world would run out of oil reserves and other natural resources, and then where would we be? I had never thought of that, and my world shifted a bit. Looking back, I have no idea why grade school children would worry about that like we did, but we were not normal children. He also told me many true stories about UFO sightings and other unexplained natural phenomena, which caused me to second guess any weird lights I saw in the sky for years to come. He also taught me all the words to found a peanut, the very gross version that involves vomiting and demise and death. So you can see why he was pretty much the best pallet partner ever. When we arrived in Alabama, holidays were loud, funny, and full of food and love. They also involved an inordinate amount of guns and explosives, which I learned to love at a very early age. Lots of guns, lots of explosives. And there's a reason why I never hit the trigger, because I was really concerned about the photographer, obviously, if you can see. I learned to love these things at a very early age until my cousins, the ones around me were all boys, were actually shooting bottle rockets at me. And at that point, my love waned just a little bit. These are some of the explosives. You may see some people in there you recognize, as in our beloved president and his wife. Other fun activities involved throwing rocks at each other, literally. We called them rock fights. Setting things on fire and jumping on piles of mattresses in the old tabernacle on the Pell City campgrounds. It is a wonder we survived to tell the tale, but survive we did. As I grew, the traditions changed, but the love and humor remained. The extended family moved to doing their Christmas celebrations at Thanksgiving, so everyone could get together more easily. The Vernon Thanksmasses, someone invariably brings gag gifts. One year it was a pair of jeans that 2 average-sized men could inhabit, and then many felt compelled to try them on. Another year it was, I believe, a suit that was decades out of style. It also sometimes involves wigs, glasses, fake teeth, and other strange paraphernalia. But it always involves lots of food, lots of laughter, and lots of love. My immediate family also began its own traditions. When I was in grade school, we began to do a fondue meal on Christmas Eve. 2 pots of oil adorn the table, and we cook our own chicken, steak, and mushrooms. We also have trays of fetch vegetables and dip, cheese ball and crackers, and lots of Christmas cookies. Now, just a word to the wise. If you decide to begin this tradition, when you start a family, do think about the ages of your children when starting. Hot pots and oil, can be painful. I know this from experience. This is a meal we look forward to all year long. The meal is an event in itself. Having to cook at the table slows down the pace. We linger and talk and laugh and eat and eat. The meal is an event. After the meal, we open gifts. In the past, before we got to the presents, my father would go to the place he'd been hiding the baby Jesus all season, because, Jesus wasn't born until Christmas Eve, and dramatically place him in the manger. This was quite a dramatic thing. The tradition had to stop when my mom got a willow tree nativity set that had sweet, faceless baby Jesus glued in Mary's arms. It was a sad day. We didn't figure that Mary was gone the whole time, so they all had to stay. After the dramatic manger placement, the Christmas story is on deck. And as we listen to my father read the familiar words and pray together, we thank God for the year that has passed and for his many blessings on our family. Every once in a while, my dad likes to mix it up a bit with the Christmas story and read other passages along with the more familiar ones. One year, he was skipping down to another part of the reading and inserted a blah, blah, blah for the scripture he was skipping. We told him that it probably wasn't appropriate to say blah, blah, blah when you were talking about scripture. The process of opening gifts has gone into slow motion at our house. When we were young, it was all about getting to the loot. Now, it's all about savoring the moment. Watching each other enjoy the gifts and saying thank you a lot. We also vie for the coveted position of who can buy mom a gift that makes her cry. It is a great honor to win this position, and actually not very difficult. There are occasionally some funny gifts involved here as well, like the year my mom and dad watched the onion and banana sketch that was all over social media, and indeed gave my brother and I an onion and a banana. Or the year my brother and I received a wrapped 5x7 picture of our parents. They were so proud, and my mom laughed so hard I thought she would hurt herself. Or the year we got Santa Snuggies. Weird, but funny. Who knows what this year will hold? Christmas to me is all about love. It's the chance to show people in your world how much they mean to you. It's a beautiful opportunity to find out that giving is way more fun than getting. I mean, don't get me wrong, getting is great. And if you want to get, I'm here. But giving blows getting right out of the water. If you don't believe me, try it. Give lavishly and find out what it feels like. Christmas is a time to remember that we too were loved lavishly when God gave the best gift he could possibly give. My favorite childhood story of giving is one I've told here before, but I'm going to tell it again. If you've heard it before, just plug your ears and hum quietly to yourself, not so loudly as to disturb others. I was around 3 years old, and my father took me Christmas shopping for my mother. We searched and finally found the perfect present, a beautiful purse. I was over the moon excited. Upon returning, I excitedly rushed up to my mother. Mommy, you'll never guess what Daddy and I got you for Christmas. It's a purse. Sonja, my mother cautioned, don't tell Mommy what it is. Oh, I won't, Mommy. It's going to be a surprise. When you open it on Christmas, you're going to be so happy. You're going to say, oh, Sonja, a purse. At this point, my mother was highly amused. Make sure you don't tell Mommy the surprise. Oh, I won't, Mommy. You won't find out till Christmas, and you're going to be so surprised. Trying to sidetrack me from continuing to spoil the surprise, she suggested, why don't you go tell Uncle Steve about it? Okay, Mommy. Can I tell him it's a purse? Christmas finally came, and with it, the grand unveiling. My excitement knew no bounds. When my mother finally opened the gift, I was the happiest one in the place. I hugged and hugged and hugged her, and then ran in laps around the room, stopping only to hug her again, and then continue running. Oh, Mommy, don't you love it? Weren't you surprised? My friends, giving brings joy, incredible, unbridled joy. And I think God must have felt the same way. No, Not everyone accepted his gift, but many did, and many still do. And because of it, our lives are changed forever. This Christmas, I pray that you will learn the joy of giving and loving lavishly. Merry Christmas.